Hey, what's up with you? How's it going? Happy 2018, lads and lasses. Oh, we're off. We're off 2018, episode 40 of Buckshot. You're all very welcome for Wednesday, the 3rd of January 2018. I'm on time with the day, but a little later than expected. But sure, look, we have a day off today, you see, from Panto. So when they say day off, like if you've ever worked for an extended period of time, you get a day off, but really all you're doing on that day off is catching up on all the shit you were supposed to be doing while you're working in normal times. So today's just been running around just chasing my ass, trying to fucking finalise dates on gigs and stuff like that and everything else. But yeah, all gravy, baby. We got fantastic storm last night. It was great. How was your New Year's? I'm so old. My New Year's was delightfully quiet. Travelled back up home up to the good lady herself and sat down and ate a Thai takeaway with the dog. Chatting shite. Everybody else in the cast, they all went out and got fucking bamboozled. I don't think they went out, I think they had a party. But, yeah. Do you know what? Everything in me was like, yeah, a couple of drinks would be nice, but I mean, fuck it. Fucking drink anytime. This was just relaxation. What did you do? Did you have fun? Like that. It was. Do you know it was the best thing for me because everybody else is. It's one of the few times I've got to be smug on a job where everybody else is dying of a hangover, and I'm just sitting there going proud as punch, feeling as fresh as a fucking spring lamb, skipping around the place I was. We've been up to fucking 90. Like I said, a day off today. Today is Wednesday, so we finish up last show on Sunday, and then I'm going to sleep for a couple of days, I think. Just go to sleep. Just hook me up to an IV. What the fuck else? You lose touch with the world. I don't know. The storm has blown the living shit out of the West Coast. I don't know what this one is called. I think we're getting more and more of them. It's something to do with global warming. I mean, it is 12 degrees outside in the beginning of January. Fuck me. I won't keep you long, really, because we had a great chat with today's guest. And I'd say this one could have gone on for about 5 or 6. It could have easily gone on for about 5 or 6 hours because we were only getting into our stride when we had to actually get into our costumes for the next show. So we did it between shows, so you know what's actually going on and why. We had a brief interlude there. Paul, the guy who does all our microphones, he stuck his head in and had to... But he gets introduced during the middle of the podcast. I have nothing interesting to tell you. Nothing. I mean, my beloved Munster fucking absolutely threw away a fucking match. 17-0 up at half-time. Granted, they left another 7 points behind them. They should have been 24-0 up at half-time, but JJ Hanneran was having a howler from this fucking tee. And then they shit the bed in the second half, giving away penalties left, right and centre, getting fucking one fella in the bin. Fella's gone off injured all over the shop. Then fucking Sammy Arnold gets himself red-carded. And they go down 24-17. Other than the sporting side of things, I don't really know what else to be bothering your ears with. It's been good crack doing the Panto, and it looks like this one we did have to pull a show the other night, first time ever. Last week's guest, the fantastic Richie Hayes, had a calf tear coming down the steps. His second scene, I beg your pardon, had a calf tear, no repairing it on the spot. Just couldn't stand on it, roaring fucking pain, and he's an integral part in that. While the show is on, you can't turn around. We took an interlude, but just couldn't fire it back up again. Now, to be fair, we went out and did a photo shoot after, at that time, meet and greet just to say sorry or whatever. But people were as cool, way cooler than I thought they'd be. Like, people were like, yeah, totally get it. We totally get it. Like, I mean, if they actually got to see the show beforehand, they'd understand that Richie's in fucking every second scene. You know what I mean? So it's not something you can just fucking pencil in. And we didn't have an understudy on the day, so it was like, balls. But I think most people were pretty cool about it. Other than that, we taped him up. He got his physio. Fucking shot of steroids. Taped him up, and we got through yesterday's show. Yesterday's 2 shows. But we made it work. He wasn't doing any of his fucking dancing around, that's for sure. And then we have tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and that's it, basically. So avoiding no other fucking injuries, I think we'll be alright. Nothing else to report. there's loads to report, but realistically, I mean, what's the point until we get into a proper one? Again, my brain is frazzled, you see. You don't realise, all these people, you see, this is their bread and butter. I have to concentrate really hard, so I've become zero personality from in between shows. I'm just normally just sitting. I know. I'm a bit of crack on the job, but outside of it, my brain is just fucking melted. Because you have to put so much into it. Because, like I said, these people are acting since they're tiny, like, so it's nothing to them. It's like just picking up a shovel to me. Like, it's so I have to pretend like I know what I'm actually doing. Don't tell anybody, but I don't. The ultimate bluffer. Do you know what? I'm going to plough straight on. I won't bother you with any more. We'll be back to somewhat normal. We'll have another Panto guest hopefully next week, and then we'll be back to Normalville. And I'll be back into releasing dates. Hopefully, I have taken my foot off the fucking throttle when it comes to getting my my website finished. But Gordo, of course, of the Conspiracy Guys, who is building it for me, he's just kind of waiting in the wings for me to get over to him and actually fucking finish the thing off. So I'll be back up the country, and we can actually. There's some fun stuff coming up. Like I'm gonna hopefully we'll start videoing these podcasts and stuff like that, and just more fun sketches and things. And there'll be a couple of more things in the pipeline that are going to be a bit of crack, and I'll keep you updated on, as well as just lashing out a bunch of dates and stuff like that where I'll be doing gigs. For now, though, let's plough directly on. Anybody who grew up in UK or Ireland or even America during the mid to late 90s will know who exactly this lady is. She's the big name on the show, the anchor on the show, really, where you have to anchor a big name on a show. And Samantha Mumba, I mean, she tells the story. We got into everything from boxing to excuse me, to fucking funny film title or play title that she ended up in. It was just a laugh from beginning to end, this podcast. But it was just a whirlwind of where she came out of. I mean, she's a national treasure in Ireland because she just exploded. Like, and her music was the tunage of the 90s, basically, for anybody, and I suppose early 2000s as well. For anybody who was getting their glad rags on. It was the early 2000s, wasn't it? Actually, it wasn't the 90s at all. Do you know what? I'm so shit. I definitely did some form of... You know, I didn't want to do too... I hate doing too much in the way of research into people, like, you know, unless it's something I have no idea. Because I kind of like to just kind of them tell me like we're sitting down at a pub, not Googling each other, being fucking weirdos. So, I mean, Samantha actually explains this all throughout the entire podcast. Like I said, there might actually be probably a part 2 if we can find some time, maybe tomorrow or the day after, but because the crack was fucking seriously 90 on this one. So please, for now, I'll shut my face. Give it up for the fantastic Samantha Mumba. Hey, we're off.
Hey.
Your first ever podcast.
My first
I can't believe
podcast.
I can't believe that you haven't done... I mean, I know you're being coerced into having your own one.
I have... there has been mention of it. Now, I don't know. I can't quite get my head around it. So I'm enjoying this. You know I talk shit anyway, so... This is lovely.
That's the beautiful thing about it. You can talk as much shit. There's a load of friends of mine don't do interviews, like. They just talk for a fucking hour.
It's actually so funny that you say that. I was just thinking that in the car because I was going, okay, podcast, this should be interesting. And I was going, I actually love it because I'm almost going to say 99% of any interview I've ever done.
Yeah.
It can be a great interview, it can be very honest, and it's still always edited, chopped, changed.
Yeah.
Whereas this,
I
say what I
out.
say, so there's nothing.
I pull nothing out.
But even
once in a blue moon, I've had lads ring me up and go, "Oh, do you know what?
Right, okay.
I have a gig coming up with that person, so nothing."
So maybe I shouldn't actually say that.
And I hummed and hawed a bit because I'm kind of going, lad.
But it is what. Yeah.
You said it.
Yeah.
And we're like, I know, but
yeah,
because some people can just get carried away in the moment and go, do you know who's a fucking...
Right, okay.
Now, I'm not trying to get a scoop on anybody, but at the same time, it's a bit of crack, like.
Yeah.
But most of the time, people are going, nah, I said it, so...
It is what it is.
And the thing is, radio people don't listen to podcasts where there's nobody what I found anyway, there's nobody emailing me with a complaint.
Really?
No! Because they'll just go, grand, yeah, I won't. I will unsubscribe if I don't listen to it, if I don't like it.
Okay.
So what you normally get is friends going, if you're bored at work, listen to Tom. Do you know what I mean?
Right, okay.
And it's not unlike like the radio waves where they're begging you for your listenership. This is like fuck it.
Listen if you want to, don't listen if you don't. I love this.
It's just like a nice lake or something. People can go and look at it, but the lake isn't going, come fucking look at me, you pricks. You know what I mean? I know I just described myself as a fucking piece of beautiful. Ow! First injury.
Tom the Lake O'Mahony.
Yeah, Tom the Lake O'Mahony. I tell you, that's
I kind of like
that's
that.
A ring name that you'll never hear a fighter coming out to.
No.
The Lake. It would puzzle people, wouldn't it? It'd be like, why is he called a lake? Is it because he's so deep?
Yeah.
Or
is he just like a big puddle, like it's a big load
he could ruin
of
your
dirty
day.
water, like
Yeah,
like he could kill you.
but that's the beauty of it. And like the reason why I started up on, because I'd done so many with friends who have very successful podcasts, and not because I went, I have to have a successful podcast. It was like, I fucking really enjoy talking on their podcasts.
Right.
And that's how I came about. Then it was the crack was 90, because it's like, and then you're actually getting feedback from people who go, oh yeah, fucking like listening to that. Yeah. And you can say whatever you want, which, as you've noted over the last couple of weeks, I do tend to say whatever I want.
You know that I say whatever I
You
want.
do,
now,
yeah,
I'm a little bit more cautious.
I know you.
A little bit.
You have to be. But I mean, what?
But no, not cautious like that. You know what I'm cautious about? Because, and you know this about me, I speak and then I think after the fact.
Yeah. Well, we have the similar gene there for that. Yeah.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, like I said, we can edit this afterwards. But the reality
No,
is,
don't edit it.
You won't.
No, it shouldn't be edited. That takes away from us.
There'll be nothing, like, there's nothing so outrageous. People go, I can't believe that I was hanging my hat on Samantha Mumba being, the most quietest person ever. You'll ruin nobody's day. Do you know what I mean?
No, just turn off now. If you're not into it, just turn it off.
If you're a bit shy,
just go on about
I'd
your
walk
day.
away.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you told me I'm a huge boxing fan. Like,
yeah.
Die hard. Don't play around with my boxing.
Wow. My first podcast, well, I did a couple. I did my grandparents, they're still alive and everything. Mm-hmm. We have a visitor at the door.
We have a knock at the door?
You're alright, Paul. Sorry. It's Paul, our sound guy. Say hi, Paul. You're on the podcast.
Dirty Paul.
Dirty Paul. Jock. Sexy jock boy. Huh? He's a charming old fucker, isn't
he? He is. Look at him leaving the door open to listen.
Yeah. He's not a bitch. But yeah, my first, obviously, I did a couple just to kind of see how they were going, and we had a partnership before I took on this one by myself. Myself and a mate of mine called Jerry McBride, who writes for Waterford Whispers.
Okay.
Have you come across this?
Of course.
Yes, well, he would be the writer. Anything you read that goes, ooh, that's McBride.
Right.
And it was the Tom and Jerry show. I mean, what else would you call it?
Brilliant.
And then, but Jerry's just tied up, and then my first ever interview was with a guy called Gary Spike O'Sullivan. And Gary was the WBO middleweight champion at one stage. Now, he lost it. He fought with conjunctivitis in his eyes, and he lost it.
Ah, seriously?
But he actually...
Was he allowed? Why was he allowed to
Shouldn't have been allowed. Shouldn't have been allowed.
No.
But he's made it back, and it looks like his next fight might be against Triple G. Yeah. I just take...
The natty Golovkin.
Yeah.
He's gonna lose.
He's
losing it.
Here's
I'm sorry. He's losing it.
He was always a tasty fighter, but he is now. His punch was just recorded as being the hardest punch in the middleweight division in the world. His last 4 fights, he's knocked guys out with broken ribs. His body shots are fucking horrendous. But what I'm saying is, he's one of the nicest.
So he's a decent contender, you're saying?
Oh no, he really
Triple
is.
G is just
sure, he's another level.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, another level. But he beat Antoine, what's his fucking name, the other night in Ottawa. And they reckon he was going to be a decent contender, and he butchered him inside 7 rounds.
Okay.
Absolutely butchered him.
Okay.
But like that, then I've had Steve Collins Jr. on. Who's again a fucking specimen, just a phenomenon. Went from pro rugby to turn at age 24 and go.
You see, it's weird for me because I'm living in. I live in America.
Yeah.
So all of the boxing, all the fights I watch are all the American guys. So I actually miss out on a lot of the guys
that are coming up here,
that are up and coming here, that are great fighters.
Yeah.
Well, heavyweight, I'm a huge fan of the heavyweight division.
It's hard to get excited.
Joshua was very exciting, obviously.
Only now, the heavyweight division was dead for a good fucking 10 years.
No, but you know who brought that back? Deontay Wilder.
I thought Shannon Briggs brought
Oh my God.
because he was the most fun fella to listen to.
But Deontay Wilder is, Jesus, he's just incredible. And it's so hard. I need that and the Anthony Joshua fight to happen.
Yeah.
And I love both. I think Joshua's an incredible fighter.
Will he give it to him though? I mean,
I think it's Wilder.
Yeah.
He's tenacious. Like, he's just on another level.
Well, it was dead for so long with the two Ukrainians. Like, it was just like, oh, you're just walking these lads.
I'm bored.
But I mean, it shifted. And let's be honest, there's no two ways about it. Boxing has just jumped back up again, and there's one fucker to thank for it. Floyd was doing his business, but the biggest mouth in the business jumps over from the UFC. He got everybody to watch boxing.
You're giving that to him over Floyd Mayweather.
You fucking have to. Yeah, but see, the thing was, it was because it was a spectacle. Floyd has always boxed. Do you know what I mean? He's always
made a spectacle of boxing.
Oh, he has, but in fairness to your man, a lot of people had lost it because Floyd got boring to watch because you're like, well, he's definitely going to beat him.
You know what it is? It's not that...
It was the weirdness.
Floyd is boring to watch. It's that he's so good, he makes it look too easy.
That's what I mean.
It doesn't look like he's doing much.
It doesn't look like a...
And I have to be honest, I'm a diehard Mayweather fan.
Yeah.
Like, don't fuck with it. Like, I love him. I think he's an incredible fighter. It was very hard for me with the McGregor fight. Because as much as I love Mayweather, I was rooting for McGregor.
Yeah, of course you were. But
pardon me, I was devastated when he didn't beat him, which would have been terrible. And like, my husband's a diehard Mayweather fan.
But it would have been dreadful for boxing too.
It would have ruined the sport.
But I think they both knew that it was... And I think personally, I think Floyd probably went, let's take him into deep waters here, like, because the man had never fought 10 rounds of boxing.
No.
I think Floyd could have probably finished that off inside 5 if he really went...
But he was too big a fight. He needed to give people a show. But I don't know. And it's hard. I don't know. I just feel weird about it because, I love McGregor. But I never even... I want to say I've been disrespectful of MMA up until his point. I've no time for it. Had no time for it. I still don't have any time for it. I will watch it if McGregor's fighting. Yeah. Or some of the girls. I think some of the girls are...
Some of the girls' fights are amazing.
Oh my God, they're incredible. They're incredible. But I just have never been into...
Well, that's the background you see I came from. I came from martial arts all the way through, and I went into mixed martial arts then.
Oh, but we're going to totally disagree on this then.
No, not at all. But there was a point where it's now, in the last maybe 5 years, become an actual sport. Before it was a fucking spectacle. When I did it, it was a spectacle. Yeah. I'd come from a karate and taekwondo background, and I was fighting guys who just only had kung fu, so there was no middle ground. We were just lamping the head off each other, or you're fighting a judo guy, and it just...
I think all of that, it's the fighting aspect that I love. I actually almost started competing in kickboxing.
Did you?
Years ago, and it was just my mom was so devastated that
why?
She just was like,
it's just ungirly, like.
And a lot of people are, and now not so much today, but when I was, a lot of people would have frowned upon women fighting.
Yeah, of course they would. Yeah.
They just would. I mean, even my trainer was kind of going, God, you do some damage, but like, he didn't even really agree with women fighting, and this is at the time.
Wow.
So, I get that. I totally respect that side of it. It's the grappling on the floor, the wrestling. It's hard. I just have no interest in it.
But that's just it. If you know, like, and it's boring as shit, or it's weird as shit if you don't know what's going on. And to be honest, which is only from talking to experts that I now know what's going on. It's like watching any sport. Like, there are mates of mine who can't watch rugby because they're going, what the fuck's happening at a ruck time or scrum time? When you know what's happening, you're like, oh, that's technical, I can see that. But it's the subtle things. Boxing... Again, like, I mean, two different people will watch it in two different ways. They'll just watch it for knockouts, where somebody will watch Floyd Mayweather going, look at that crafty hooer. Yeah. He's such a crafty hooer.
Oh, and he is.
Do you know what I mean? He's unreal. You can't lay a hand on the bastard. You know, so I suppose it's horses for course, but it's the promotion of MMA is probably what kind of pissed me off, because I was a bit of I'm, for the want of not sounding like a total fucking hipster, but I would go, I just want the sport to watch the sport. Yeah. This whole fucking fireworks carry on.
All the extras, okay.
But it's what's needed to get it out there.
Well,
you know,
it is, and people want a show.
They do, I despise it. I'd happily go one man and a dog to watch a fight or watch a game of rugby, like, you know, this fucking whole let's stick a bunch of cheerleaders onto the thing to dress it up for the idiots in the game, like. You know,
drives you nuts.
It drives me fucking bananas. The last time I ever went to a match, it was a Munster-Leinster match, and my now wife had bought tickets for it. Was in the Aviva. She was going, of course you're going to love it, and she was coming on, even though she's from Dublin, she was coming on board with the Munster thing. And it was one of the most horrendous things I've ever went to. Munster won the same day, but it was one of the most horrendous things. There was the guys were all around me. All probably working for PricewaterhouseCoopers, steaming drunk because they got the tickets for nothing, screaming at the sky. They had fireworks, there was cheerleaders, there was shit running all over the pitch for 20 minutes beforehand. There was music playing after every break in the play. So what the fuck is this?
Very Americanized.
Unbelievably Americanized. Yeah. I remember when I was a lad, when I was playing rugby here, like, there was no such... Nobody gave a bollocks about Munster or Leinster. It was all about it was all about, say, Lansdowne, it was all about Clontarf, it was all about Shannon and stuff like that. So you go to 5,000-6,000 people would go to those games, and I'm not kidding you, Thomond Park or Lansdowne Road would have 300 people watching an Interpro match. Like,
seriously?
Yeah. It took Heineken to turn it all around. They took on a European Cup and went, give us some teams to stick into it, and that's essentially what happened. Like, yeah. I had no idea this was going to go straight into two of my favourite sports.
Sorry.
I'm delighted.
Really?
Yeah, I'm delighted that this kicked off. Absolutely, this whatchamacallit, this podcast kicked off.
Are you happy with that?
Unbelievably different.
Good. I did, yeah, good. But I love boxing.
A guy, another chap, he's an Irish lad, Cool Hand Luke is his nickname, like.
Cool Hand, I feel like I've actually heard
Luke Keeler, the guy looks like, he'll be on soon enough, and I'm going to have Steve Collins' brother, Paddy Collins, on as well, but who I really want to get is Katie Taylor, because I tried to alternate it, it's just to see, how the Jesus is she doing it, like?
Do you know what though? Have you not seen, like, even coming up, like some of the girls that she's fought, and not taking anything away, I think she is an incredible athlete, clearly. But I just think some of the girls I've seen are fighting, kind of going.
I watched her fight the other night, and I'll tell you. I
didn't see that one.
I
didn't see that one.
She hands down deserved the title.
Yeah.
She's changed now from an Olympic boxer, which is like tag, get as many points as I can. She's completely changed it into, I'm putting on a show here.
Yeah, but a lot of boxers will come from that Olympic background.
Yeah.
And I do think that's, amazing. But yeah.
So you're enjoying your panto anyway, Samantha? I love that. People are going, I can't wait to hear what Samantha Mumba has to say about the entertainment industry and whatnot. Nah, straight into boxing. I love it.
Do you know what? It's just genuinely like my passion. And to this day, I still almost regret. I would have loved.
Would you allow your girl to box?
To have competed. Oh.
I know she's only a little girl at the minute, but if she turns around at age 15, 16 as a woman and goes, Ma'am, I really, really want to dig this, like.
Do you know what? It's so funny. Before I had her, I was always saying, when I have a little girl, fuck the ballet classes. She's going to go into boxing classes. She's going to be able to defend herself. She's going to be well able, like, literally have a good left hook on her. But then I see her and she's the sweetest little spirit. I just would never want to hurt anything. And it's like, why would I even... I don't know. I would never say...
It's not in her personality that you can see right now.
Obviously not at 2.5, no.
Yeah.
But I would never say she couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So if she ever comes to me one day, hey, ma'am, I want to do boxing classes. Okay, great. She'll do the boxing classes.
Yeah.
I would personally hope, obviously, because I know myself, I would jump into a ring and rip the head off her. You touch her. Literally.
You'd be the man with the brick in the hand.
Oh, I'm kidding. The brick in the hand. I'm not even hiding it in the handbag. Like, I'm telling you now, I'm knocking you the fuck out. So, I don't know. I will never say never to anything she wants to do. But personally, as a mother, of course I wouldn't want her to hurt herself.
Yeah.
So, of course then, now that you say that, I should obviously get why then my mum was like, literally nearly like in tears at the thoughts of me boxing. But it genuinely is such a passion in me. And I had such, I don't know. Yeah, just a passion for it. And then... Actually, I can't get into that story, but I did actually punch somebody and I dislocated my whole shoulder.
Wow.
And it popped out
you threw a lot into that punch. Did you connect with it?
I was fairly pissed off. Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did. Yes, yeah.
Did he go down, did he?
They went down. They did go down. But anyway, I was drunk at the time as well, so I got a fright. Obviously, my whole shoulder fell out, so I just jammed it up against the wall and put it back in. Now, what happened is... For a year after that, I'd be cleaning and my shoulder would drop out.
No way.
And I'd just freak and just jam it back in. Like, it was the most awful thing. Or like in the middle of the night, if I'd move and I'd wake up in like agonising pain. Anyway, after a year of this, I was like, no, this is obviously not right. So I'd just completely destroyed my shoulder. So I ended up having to have surgery and to take pieces out and all kinds of stuff. It was a mess. But yeah, I mean, obviously I wouldn't be able to box now. But it kills me. It kills me. I just love that. I just love it. I really, really do. Yeah,
you'd be a good boxer, I'd say. You have the temperament, more so, because a lot of it is...
More the temperament, and I don't know. Yeah.
Well, and who, right now, I mean, obviously you're not, as you said, you're not keeping an eye on the whatchamacallit, but you should keep an eye on some interesting fighters, the two Conlon brothers. You should keep an eye, YouTube those lads.
Okay.
They're interesting. Like, Michael Conlon he's a bit of a mouth. He's
the Olympic guy?
Yeah, he got done out of the whatchamacallit.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I didn't think your man was as bad as everyone was saying, that it was clearly obvious that he had won the fight.
I think more so...
Is that scandalous for me to say that?
I agree with you. I think it was his reaction afterwards had leaned it, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
but his brother is interesting to watch.
I'd like to see the brother. Is the brother younger?
His brother's older, but they can't watch each other because his brother just goes into war every time. Like,
Oh, see, now that I love. I love that.
He goes to war every time. Like, he butchers himself. Like, but he gets the job done. Like, but you'll love watching him. Like, but he
and I really liked the guy Conlon or whatever his name is. But I didn't like how he carried himself after it. And I watched the fight, and I was kind of going, okay, absolutely. Look, I see why he's feeling that way, but I didn't think it was that out. I didn't think your man, what was he, the Russian guy or whatever?
Yeah.
I didn't think he was that outrageously awful. I did think he was still getting his points in and like doing what he needed to do.
I think too, the outrageous kind of behaviour immediately after fights now has kind of, it's taken on a life of its own, because once upon a time it was all very gracious. Yes, no, look, it was.
And I like that. If you lose a fight, just be the bigger man
away.
and fair play to him. He was the better man. And you know what pisses me off when fighters lose the fight nowadays and they won't do the after interview. That infuriates me.
Yeah, I mean, the only other side of that is...
Unless you were knocked out.
That's the other side. When, I think in the UFC, they, as an example, they were saying that they didn't want to do with the losers anymore unless they were willing to say, I'll do the interview.
But why?
Because, especially in the UFC, a lot of guys are concussed afterwards, and it's unfair to put a mic in a guy's face immediately after, in the cage.
He's a grown man, he stood in that ring, so I actually disagree.
Yeah, I disagree. If he doesn't...
And now, maybe MMA, obviously... There's a much... Well, no. I was personally talking about boxing. But I mean, yeah, I just think if you got in there and you were the fight, I think you need to pay respect to whoever won the fight. I always love getting their perspective and their take on how the fight went.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It does. It pisses me off when they walk away.
Well, I suppose it is a sport and it's for our entertainment, really. So they have to do it. So how long have you lived in America?
12 years.
12?
Yeah.
Do you lose your accent when you're over there? I don't know if we talk about this. You probably have to a bit for the lads to understand you.
Initially, what happened when I started living over there, I completely dropped my accent because it was just a pain in the hole.
So you couldn't even ask for a cup of tea.
Where are you from? And it's like, I just don't want to do that everywhere I go. They just don't know what to make of me. And especially, I look, like in America, I just look American. Nobody's thinking I'm anything different. They just presume I'm American. So, so initially, my accent went because that was just such I just only so many times if I'm in the shop I just want to get what I'm getting in the shop, and that's it. And then once I started auditioning and stuff like that, then it was helpful because I needed to work on my American accent, obviously. But other than that, it's not so much. It's more that my lingo changes. So I say the trash because that's what's said there. I won't say, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It depends. I'm not as aware of it. People more say it to me than... Yeah,
of course. But sure, I mean, that happens to... Like, Christ, we went on the J1 and lads came back after 3 months with American accents, like. I would swear to God, there was lads... Within a week, lads are gone... They were saying trash and garage, and we were like, God, would you shut up?
Yeah.
We're all Irish lads living together.
But I think even like that's... I think I've just been like that my whole life. Even when I went to... I have a load of relatives in Birmingham. And I think when I was about 5 or something, apparently I went over for like 2 days with my granddad and came back a full Brummie. Like,
oh, Jesus.
Like, what is wrong
with
that child? I love that accent.
Do you?
I love it.
You did a good hand of the old Midlands accent the other day. Samantha.
What about you?
What about you?
What about you? Sure, we're keeping her lit anyway. Sure, it's grand. Or what? No, I need to say words with T's. It's the T's that give...
Yeah, it's like the example being Peter's computer. He was eating...
Peter's computer.
Eating a bag of potatoes.
Eating his potatoes.
That's good because most Dublin people can't do it. There's you dirty cool.
But I say all that says, I think when you're a singer, I think a lot of singers by mistake even just pick up on accent.
Oh, they do, of course.
But it's a melodic thing, but kind of.
But it's if you have to perform any bit at all, you're very aware. Like, I'm not a singer,
right?
But as far as an accent goes, anybody wants me to do like I'll do a South African accent and South Africans won't be able to tell the difference.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I need 5 minutes on YouTube with a South African accent.
Holy shit.
And you won't be able to tell the difference. It doesn't, but any accent.
Wow.
But it's because that's what I listen for. I listen for tiny little changes.
Things.
But which is what my game is all about. Comedy is all about timing and what your wordplay and whatnot. So you're pulling out all the stupid words that aren't needed in a sentence. And you're going straight to the funnies.
That's smart.
Do you know? So
I want to come and see. I want to see your stand-up. I'd say it's funny.
There's talks.
I'd say. Who says to a comedian? I'd say your stand-up is funny.
I'd say to me,
I'd say you're all right.
A few quid going to see anyway. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's it's a heightened level of what you're dealing with me on a daily basis. Like it's up another octave. Like I come down for a panto.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, obviously not performance-wise, but in hanging around with the gang, yeah. Right, okay. But my stuff is very much, it's a very dominant style on stage. It's quite aggressive, like.
Why am I very not surprised?
Well, I don't know how to do it any other way, because the standard practice with most comedians is very much, it's self-deprecating.
Did you train to be a comedian?
No. I trained to be nothing. I was a civil engineer.
Were you?
Yeah. And the arse fell out of the country, and my hobby, I got I got tricked into it, basically. I was tricked by a woman I worked with. Well, I wasn't telling you this, was I?
No.
I was telling this, I loved working in construction, loved it, but then the arse fell out of the country, and I kind of went contracting then to this company they did insurance claims and stuff.
Right, okay. I
fucking hated every one of them. I wanted to burn the place to the fucking ground. A handful of the people that worked in were all right, and this one woman, she was 100%, and I was telling her a joke one day, or just a story just to brighten her day, where I jazzed up the story of how we went down to lunch to get noodles in this bar, and the guy that was giving us the noodles, I'll never forget the story. He had the most ridiculous voice. He had his voice. I thought, I was looking over my shoulder going, this is a camera. There's a camera on me right now, because the guy went, how's it going? And he wasn't camp. That's the weird thing. His voice was just unbelievably high pitched. And he had a lisp as well, which made it even better. Well, he didn't have a lisp, but I added that to the story.
You added that to the story.
And I just told her, and she laughed so hard in the car driving back, because we went into she burst the blood vessel in her nose, and we had to take her straight
Right, did you add that to the story, or that actually happened?
No, that's 100% true.
She burst a blood vessel
Listening to
in
the
her
story
nose.
about your man, yeah. So,
oh my God.
So we had to take her straight to the hospital to get her nose cauterized. And she's like, Tom, you have to be telling that shit. And then she set up the comedy club thing she rang around a couple of comedy clubs in Cork at the time where we were living.
To her.
And she's just a legend. So Caroline has everything to be thanked for. Like, she forced me into it, and then she tricked me, because I wouldn't go out for a drink with these fuckers. Like, she went, look, we're going for office. Come on, Tom, don't be a grumpy fucker. So turned up at this bar that I didn't realise had a comedy club attached.
Have you ever done a podcast, sorry to go off story, have you ever done a podcast drunk?
Yeah, last year we did a commentary of, myself and Jerry did a commentary.
Because you're quite hilarious drunk.
Yeah.
I have to say.
Well, it depends on the company too, though. If the company's...
Tom Unleashed is quite funny.
It depends on the company. If you're not in good company, like, you're fucked. Okay. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. But anyway, so back to the story. So she tricked you.
Tricked me.
You're coming out for work drinks, whatever.
And the lads that run the comedy club, fair play, they didn't go get on stage. They went, are you Tom? I went, what the fuck is this? And basically went, and the lads...
Did you not freeze?
I locked to the ground like you wouldn't believe. I nearly shit the bed. And they went, do you fancy it? I went, I do me whole. Are you mental? I'd never even been in a comedy club in my life. And they went, well, look, we wouldn't put you on stage tonight anyway, but we're thinking, if you wanna, there's a 7-minute spot there in a couple of minutes, or 5 to 7 minute spot there in about 4 weeks for you, if you want to put that together, if you want to set yourself a goal.
Holy shit.
And the inner 5-year-old in me went, don't be a fucking pussy, don't be a pussy.
Yeah,
and that's what's wrong with me in my brain.
And then it's only 5 minutes.
Yeah, so I agreed.
Oh my God.
And yeah. But then I, like an asshole, showed up there the following night with all of my mates because I had such a good night, steaming drunk. And that was, we had a great night. None of us had been to a comedy club. And then, but I must have been talking with one of the guys or something. I still have to fully find out the story. So the following Monday, I'm down the Spar, the local Spar, and right next to us where we are in Cork.
Jeez, you're mad for the Spar.
Love the Spar. But there was a fucking poster with my name on it. So what the fuck is this? Turns out I had signed up on the Saturday night to actually move that forward 3 weeks and do a gig close to me in a fucking football club, not a comedy club, with them as an open mic. I was going to be their open mic, and I saw my name on a poster, Samantha.
Did you shit yourself?
Absolutely shit myself. I nearly and I had a bit of a hangover too. It was like, what in the Christ is this?
God.
But it was the worst week of my life, but the payoff.
Absolutely.
Because what was amazing was the comedians that were on were absolutely fucking dreadful. So you couldn't have been any worse.
So you were like, right, grand.
Well, I don't know. I don't think I was properly listening to him. It was just inside my head. But I had formulated how we would do this 7 minutes of 3 funny fucking things that I could talk about that I'd seen. There was observational comedy.
Yeah.
And I did 3
Which
funny.
is great.
And people went with it. They were like, Jesus Christ, that's his first time. And he just was better than those fuckers. Like.
Wow.
And then, yeah, utter addiction immediately. Like.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And then I jacked in the job. Not immediately, but I mean, after about a year and a half of gigging fucking hard, I went, fuck these guys. And I just went, all right, let's go at it full bore and see what happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But the telly stuff helped.
That's absolutely amazing.
Now, I was 28 years of age. You were 15 when you hit the fucking big time.
Well, look at you, Mr. Did your research.
Yeah, of course I did my research.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
15, Sam.
15, yeah.
But how, like, you were obviously you were in performing arts of sorts anyway.
I was a Billy Barry kid.
Yeah. I remember you told me that at
I was a Billy Barry kid, and, God, you're making me actually think here. So, Billy Barry kid, I'd done a show called The Hot Mikado in the Olympia, and I'd...
Sounds dirty.
The Hot Mikado. That's my name, Samantha the Hot Mikado. There's my fighter name. I'm from the Lake O'Mahony. So I'd done that anyway, and this guy had been in the audience, and he had wanted to meet me, and blah blah blah. So I went with my mum. It turned out he was an executive at Sony. Took a meeting with them, but nothing happened. Nothing came of that. Then it was like, okay, good meeting, and then crickets. And then actually, then I was doing Panto in the Olympia again. Then that December, and he came back and watched that. Again, nothing. Crickets.
Right.
And then randomly one night, I was at home with my mum, and the phone rang, the landline, because we didn't have, I don't think I had a mobile phone.
Well, nobody would have had mobiles.
Yeah.
Like.
And he was out at dinner with these producers who had produced all the Spice Girls stuff. They're huge producers, particularly at the time. And they just finished dinner, and he was like, look, I think it'd be good for you to come and meet them.
Right.
You know, it could lead to something, or, you know, so he was helping out. So, oh my God, got dressed up in like 2 minutes, ran into town with my mum and met up with them. What were they? They were at some hotel, some fancy hotel, finishing up dinner. So they were like, oh, look, let's go get a drink or whatever. I was 15. So we got to Lily's. Now, this is when it was actually good Lily's, and like the old Lily's where there was the library and
the piano and all the rest of it,
yeah. So we got there, and the doorman went to stop us, and obviously I was with these big shot producers, and they said, oh, she's our new artist from America. And they just let us go straight in. So we're sat in the library talking, having a great bit of crack, great fun. Me, my mum, these two producers, and the executive. And Louis Walsh happened to be in the library room as well.
Right.
And all of the Ireland team, actually. That's another story.
Okay.
Anyway, so he came over because obviously he knew the executive. He knew that they were the biggest producers of the time. And then who the fuck is this random girl with her mother? And I think he was just so blown away that like this random nobody was sat in a room with these amazing producers. It just spiked his interest. So him and my mum swapped
crafty
numbers.
Whore, isn't he? Like, crafty
him
whore.
and my mum swapped numbers, and we took a meeting, and then I started going to London and met with, well, actually I ended up getting my publishing deal first.
Right.
So I met with some publishers. I've always co-written everything that I've done or written. So got my publishing deal, and then went on a day trip to London. It's so funny, I actually got stopped by customs in Dublin Airport because they were seeing like me, and I'd be like, God, no, I wouldn't do it in a million years now, but I would be dolled up to the nines in like the high heels and the whole gear, going over for my day meetings. I think they thought I was like a drug pusher or something. I don't know what they thought was going on, but like, who is this random girl going back and forth, dolled up to the nines every day? So anyway, got and met with an A&R in Polydor and signed my deal. And all of a sudden then I literally was just back and forth to Sweden and staying there for weeks at a time and recording my album.
Class.
Yeah.
And had you taken on, was anybody working on your behalf in the way of an agent, or was it purely Mam and Sam?
It was just and again, it just randomly happened because your man, and actually I shouldn't be saying your man, Ola McGowan is his name, he works in RT now on radio, he's a lovely, lovely man. He was the one who was like, look, come and meet these guys. So yeah, and then obviously once Louis was on board, then he handled everything from that point.
Nice.
So yeah.
But that must have been some fucking whirlwind at age 15.
I can't even, half of it I don't remember.
I suppose,
it just seems like
you'd nothing to compare it to.
Ago.
You know what I mean?
No, but it was craziness. Like absolute craziness. And then, like I was 15, like I was still in school. Like I was in fifth year.
Christ almighty.
And then I was like, I'm not going back there.
Laters.
And it's so funny. I made sure that the Universal would have been the Irish equivalent to Polydor. And when I launched, I made sure that they put my single billboard out right outside the secondary school.
Did you?
Yeah. Which was kind of cool. But I still went back. So I left in fifth year, but I went back and did my Debs and everything. I went back and had that. Which was actually a bit shit. But
compared to
what I was actually doing, it's like, don't know that I needed this life experience, but okay. And I'll never forget, it was my first boyfriend at the time. He came with me, and just as we got out of the limo, his whole arse like split the trousers. He was walking around like it was just a disaster. But anyway,
it's class.
So that's how it started, and then it was just a couple of years of just madness.
And did you how did you end up with movies then, and acting? Obviously, you'd been Billy Barr and you had been kind of acting, but singing was your thing.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, at that point, I had started... my single was doing really well in America. So I was back and forth. And then I got American management as well. So I was back and forth in LA a lot. And I shot a few of my music videos there. And I started going over and doing their big radio performances, radio shows. They put on big stadium shows. Obviously the radio stations are a lot bigger there as well. So I started kind of doing that, promoting my single, and then I was getting a lot of publicity. Actually, People magazine flew to Ireland and did an article on me, and randomly, the Time Machine, the lady they were casting, and the casting lady saw my interview in People magazine, and I had whatever look it was that she was wanting.
Lovely.
And I'll never forget being devastated because I was shooting a music video all that day, and I was supposed to be going home that night, getting a flight home. And at that point I was a lot younger, and I was like, getting home to me was like everything. I just loved getting home
to me.
And it was, oh no, you've got to go and do this audition for a DreamWorks movie. And it was like, we actually were laughing, going, obviously I'm not going to get a DreamWorks movie. And then I was getting pissed off, so I'm going, this is a waste of time, I just want to go home. I'm not going to get this, of course I'm not going to get it. So anyway, stayed an extra day, went and did the audition and got the role.
Class.
And and then when I went to do, when they met me, my mum and my brother were there as well, and then I screen test, and then they screen test my brother because they needed another character. Obviously that worked because we looked alike, and he was a really good actor as well. And then we both all of a sudden were working on this literally my trailer was I had a double bed, I had a living room, I had a kitchen. It was insane.
You could have moved into the trailer, didn't you?
Happily. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. Lovely. And I was just on set in Warner Brothers, and we filmed that for just over 3.5 months, so it was a long enough stint. But so that's how that came about.
But and now, do you still love coming home? Because you're so Irishy.
I know.
Because even I was talking with your husband about that. He was saying, because I said it to him, not in so many words I don't think of, but she's fair fucking Irish, and we're wild old bastards when it comes to the chat, and he was like, oh no, you just don't get into a row with that woman, that was just the way he put it, in an American way he said it, look at you fucking don't go near her or row with her, because she'll eat you alive,
Oh, it's Dirty Paul again.
Dirty Paul.
He's mad for this podcast.
He's fucking making cameos all over the shop here.
Cameos all over the place.
He'll probably start giving out about my recording. Oh yeah, Jesus.
Do you like his camera? It's actually very good, look.
It's the H2 Zoom.
Oh, the mic?
Yeah, the 6-way mic on it, yeah. It's a handy one.
Flash.
The real nerds you want the first 5 minutes to be talking about it. I honest to God.
See, look, you're devastated. You didn't get the reaction from Paul.
No, I don't know, because I don't know. I don't know what it somebody went, that's the one you want. So I went, oh, grand.
I
don't know enough about
people
this.
Who know.
Oh yeah, they get very excited. Now Richie now was licking the fucking thing, he was loving it.
Oh, he's mad for a bit of technology. Oh, Jesus Christ. I have to hear about him on that iPhone X one more time.
Oh, fucking hell.
He's mad for the iPhone X.
Fucking hell. I killed him the other day. I said, the 10. I went, what? He says, no, the X. I said, no, it's the 10, Rich. He says, no, well. I said, no, Roman numerals. Right? And it just... Now, I'm glad I knew you'd get that straight away. I was in a room with 5 people and not one fucking person got that.
You just need to swap up the rooms you're in.
You're
just not in the right room.
Seven Card Spain shared this one last year. The crack was 90.
Was it? Because the crack is not 19 here. I'm in here by myself, talking to a long grey wig.
Had I known, I would have called into you earlier.
I know. Yeah, we could have done this week.
We could have actually just done a week with Sam and Tom.
A week with Sam and Tom in Pantoland.
That sounds... Jesus Christ, we could do a fishing show or anything. That sounds like a week with Sam and Tom.
A week with Sam and Tom. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. This today we're...
But yeah, to answer your question, yes, he does. He knows and I've calmed down a lot. I was an absolute nutcase when I met my husband.
Oh yeah?
I had a terrible temper. So I have calmed down a lot.
Because we joked about that night. I remember saying it to you. You nearly you shot me a look. You were like, no. Myself and Dale were saying that you'd be an old school Irish mammy, like. Now we weren't literal, but I think I used the metaphor that she wouldn't be shy of using the wooden spoon, like.
And you're so wrong.
Yeah, obviously we're so wrong.
Dale
like,
just can't get his head around me.
No, he can't.
Dale, God love him, he just can't do it.
He's
a young lad. It's grand. It's grand. But no, you couldn't be any further from the truth. Like, never in a million years would I ever lay a finger on my daughter. My husband would be divorced in 2 seconds if there was a finger laid on my daughter. Like, I do not agree.
No.
Slapping.
Would you be a strict mammy, do you think, though? I know she's only a little toddler at the minute, like, but we'll say when she gets a bit lippy now, or age 12 or so.
No, because she's actually quite sassy already.
Oh, is she?
Like and actually just the other day she said, I'm not sassy, Mommy. Like, but she is sassy. And there's a part of me that's like, okay, I need to give out to her for that, but like, I'm admiring her.
Yeah.
Like, no, my husband would be the strict parent. I'm the, like, she's everything.
Right, you'd be sneakishly doing stuff on Daddy, like, where it's like...
Oh, God, 100%. Yeah, 100%. 100%, without a doubt. But yeah, no. And funny enough, I would have thought I would be the strict mammy before I had a child. Yeah. So I get why you and Dale think that, or thought that.
Well, it wasn't, like...
I totally get it, because anybody else, I'll be an asshole to.
But I'd say you'd run a good ship, like, if you were to run a fucking thing now, I'd say you'd be a right woman to do it, like.
I would, yeah.
Not that you're bossy going around here or anything, but... You'd mind your fucking P's and Q's if you gave you a verbal toe up the hole, like, you know, that kind of way.
I wouldn't.
I don't know. But people feel the same thing off me. But no, I did do that for years on building sites. I was the most demonic fucker you've ever.
So that's why as well.
Yeah. It's just...
No, when I first met you, I couldn't imagine that. But actually, no, I get that. That makes sense with you.
Yeah, well,
I get that.
I was kind of this age when I was about 17. Like, do you know that?
Do you know what it is? I don't know. I've always just been like. Yeah, just
well, you had like from the age of 15. Yes, you had your mother helping you, and yes, you had Louis Walsh. But at the same time, you'd still be running your own shit, like.
Absolutely, and like from the age of 13, like I was the lounge girl in pubs, so like I was literally dealing with drunk pricks every night,
and
reefing them like get away, like. And killing people, like I would, like actually was like, like I was only a lounge girl. You'd swear I was the pub manager. Like, I took it very seriously. Do you know that kind of way?
Are you right now, ladies and gentlemen?
Like I literally like would take it or like be pissed off if I was sweeping and like someone was in my way. Like I took it very seriously. And I was working in I worked in Quinns. Well, the Big Tree first, and then Quinns. And so that's in Drumcondra, right around the corner from Crow Park. So like it was all the like the big game weekends from like first thing in the morning.
Pubs,
oh my god. Well, not with the games on.
Christ almighty.
In Crow Park. So yeah, I've always been able to assert myself, shall we say.
Yeah, it's not a fucking bad thing. But you don't strike me either, because even though you said you grew up in the Billy Barry world and all the rest of it, like there's almost a soft kind of tenderness or a neediness, not need. I'm using.
Oh my god, did you just call me needy?
No, that's what I'm saying, is that you don't strike me as that. Do you know what I mean? Like you'd strike me as that you could have easily been, if you turned around and if I never met you or never knew of you, you could say, yeah, listen, I manage hedge funds, or I'm a pilot. I go, yeah, grand. But you know when you meet a real theatre sort of person, like, or a real performer sort of person all the time, they're a little bit, love me. You know?
Right. Oh, okay.
Where you seem fucking happy enough to have your hands in your pockets going, hi lads.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I am. I don't know. I kind of, it's so funny. I'm a girly girl, but I'm like a tom girl. I always call myself a tom girl.
But you don't, even, what I'm talking about is even some of the lads, a lot of the lads you meet that perform, they haven't hand to wipe their arse when it comes to, you know, day-to-day conversations.
Yeah,
like,
no.
You could fucking talk to you about tractor parks if needed be, like, or
could be
boxing.
Yes. No, no,
you know
boxing,
what I mean?
You don't understand. It really just, oh my god, it's just my favourite thing. But, yeah, I don't know. And I grew up with my dad, who would have been, like, my mum would have been working a lot, and I would have been with my dad a lot of the time, and he is alpha male.
Right.
I literally, on a regular basis, would see him knocking people out. Like, he's literally, that's just the type, he was just an alpha, he was a man's man. Yeah. Don't cross him, don't say anything to him. It's so funny, I remember being in the pub with him one afternoon, and there was this guy in the pub, and he was just being a bit of a prick. I don't quite remember the details. And and he said something to disrespect my dad, and I remember, okay, that pissed me off, but I'm a child, obviously, and I was kind of going, oh god, here we go, because I know my dad's well able to handle himself. And then he said something, nothing rude to me now, but he just was like, he was just a bit leery. I just wasn't into it. So we were all, this was sat at the bar. Now, not that you'd ever see kids sat at the bar nowadays. Now, I would have been probably, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10.
Right.
And he had just gotten, I'll never forget, a pint of Guinness. And I picked up the pint of Guinness and I poured it in his lap. And then I ran to the toilet. And I was like, oh my God. Like, my dad's going to kill me. Like, I'm dead. Shitting myself in the toilet. And there's a knock on the door. And I would stick my head out and it's my dad. And he was beaming at me with pride. It was like, good girl, absolutely. And that is what you do, and that's how you handle yourself. And I'm sure probably a lot of that kind of, and it's so funny because you haven't said on the podcast, so to clarify, you have said that I would have quite a masculine brain in a certain, or I think in a male way.
You do think you do.
Definitely do. And
that's because you get my jokes, and both of us are laughing at the same shit.
The humour.
The same
funny
shit.
And stupid, but I do kind of think some of that probably has to do with my dad. I would have been very influenced. Your
formative years,
or like I would have seen, that's a strong thing, is to be like, I almost would be proud when I'd see my dad hurt somebody. Okay, like that's a strength, you know. And nobody messes. And there was a pride and a respect around him that I kind of respected myself. So I don't know, mate. That's probably where that kind of stems from. To an extent.
Still doesn't. And I remember I didn't get to fish it out. And I think what I was getting to with your husband as well is like, because he's American, I'm sure he wouldn't know the two sides of the thing. But I think I kind of half said it to you one of the first days, because you were powerful gas woman crack, like a gas woman.
Thanks, love.
But that's not what you associate with somebody who's well embedded in Los Angeles.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, do you find yourself going, or I won't say that joke because fuck it.
Definitely. Some things I just don't say because they're just not going to get my sense of humour.
Yeah.
Like, they're just not. It's just not going to happen. Now, my husband obviously gets my sense of humour.
Yeah.
He's very sarcastic himself, so that works.
But I'm only, I'm talking on a general scale. There's plenty of Americans that are good crack.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. But I don't know, it's kind of weird because I moved there purely, I think a lot of people thought I moved there for work. It wasn't. I just really loved LA when I went there. And I just felt very at home there. And it is a lovely quality of life. But I don't know, it's kind of, obviously now I'm married to an American man. I don't know if I wasn't married, or say if I was still single, I'd probably be living back in Ireland. I would imagine I would have moved back to Ireland, you know.
But as you say, like, you felt you slipped in nicely, like that. It went, it went seamlessly, like you went into.
Really,
I suppose as a performer and stuff like that, it's right up your street, like, and that,
But not even that though, because that genuinely isn't the reason I moved to LA. And I do live a very normal life in LA as well. But I don't know. I get home enough to where I'm not homesick, or I feel like I get enough doses of home, to where it's a balance.
Yes, yeah.
So I don't know, but it's a funny one.
It is, because I mean, obviously though, I mean, you found your own kind of niche of a groove. Now, I only lived there for a while,
right?
So, and I kind of bounced around having the crack, and sure, I'd make fucking friends with it, So it didn't really make a difference to me. And I asked myself, I wonder how I'd fit in around here. But then I suppose you find the sort of people, like, you meet obviously people, you're going, Jesus Christ, I could point Ireland out on a map to you and I must be pointing at the fucking sky.
Yeah,
do you know? Because there's plenty of those people.
Oh no, I literally was asked in a T-Mobile, like in a phone shop, an employee actually asked me if there was electricity in Ireland.
Yeah, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
This is maybe about 6 years ago. Like,
only 6 years ago?
No, like, this isn't long ago. Like,
right.
Madness. Like, some Americans really think there's the leprechauns and it's just such a warped reality.
Hence why we make a killing on.
And American people don't understand why all of these Irish products in America. I'm like, you can't get that in Ireland. Yeah. Ireland doesn't have Irish Spring soap or Lucky Charms cereal. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's some
it's
smart
just called
American
cereal.
fucker. That's that's marketing that.
The greatest thing I think I ever heard of stuff being marketed to America, which you obviously can't sell here, because what it is this guy bought a bog. Not far from where your cousins are actually from.
Okay.
But this bog it was actually gone into North Tipperary. The bog was completely done out of good bog. So it was just shite now left in it.
Okay.
So what the guy did was, he's the first and only person, he's the only person still currently, I think, in Europe that can sell raw but treated soil by the pound to America. Stop it. And what do people do with it? He put it either in box. The world of people, see, it's all been deionized and all the rest of it, scanned and everything, and he's got the only contract to sell it by the pound. $20 a pound he's selling fucking soil for. Shit, that's good for fucking nothing. It's not even a shovelful. and he's selling it $20 a pound, and he's selling it to expats and people who want to have it fucked in with their grave. Or grow a pot plant with it or whatever. Yeah. And that's...
See, when I hear things like that, I just want to get off this planet. There's just...
Yeah.
People are nuts.
There's Irish Air now. You can buy Irish Air in a can.
Are you joking? No, you're joking.
No, 100% I'm not, because Natasha worked in with the tourism agencies, and there was a crowd bottling up, canning up Irish Air.
And we're not living. We're not living.
What the fuck are we doing getting out of the bed in the morning?
That is so ridiculous. I wouldn't even think. Surely nobody would get that.
Did you ever see the movie Spaceballs? It was the Mel Brooks version. It was a piss take of. It was a piss take anyway of Star Wars. It was in the 70s or 80s, I think it was made, and it was a bit where he had cans. They were living on a space station, and he had cans of air, and he was sniffing it, and because it was so ludicrous, it was a funny joke. And they're selling it now. The Japanese buy Irish Air by the fucking shitload in cans. By the shitload.
They're fucked, in fairness.
Yes, to be fair. But sure, all you got to do is get a sniff of nothing. It's probably freshly cut grass or something to make it smell Irishy. But there you go.
Wow.
We're not
being smart enough.
Going to work is a fucking waste of time. Like when you, honest to God, it's a waste of time when you can flog fucking air in a can.
Air and shit soil.
Shit soil.
Although we can't because he has the only right.
Well, yeah, but right enough, we need to come up with another one. You've got the inside track over there.
What about, like, we could sell country air? You know when you're driving through and all of a sudden you get a bang of shit in the car?
Slurry. I know where there's loads of slurry.
Let's sell that. I actually think that's a better idea than good air.
Yeah.
There's your Irish air.
There's your Irish air.
Like
you're down the country now.
Yeah. All the expats would love that. Oh, bang of that.
Yeah. But you're the world of lads. I know. Like, there's a mate of mine, he drives for... Well, I only met him a couple of months ago at a petrol station. I hadn't seen him in years. He drives for... some paddy tours thing.
Oh God!
And he says, like, he gets left good tips and shit. Like, I think his company went under and he's doing fine. But he was saying the amount of times that he will, just for the crack, stop up they'll be driving down the cliffs of Moher, and he'll stop dead on the road and go, Jesus, I'm very sorry. And it'll depend on parts of America. If it's a part of America that would have never fucking... They're only just after getting their passports. Like, you know, these kind of parts of America that would have only just heard of Ireland. He'll stop and he'll actually tell them that there's leprechauns. And a good 70% of them will buy it. And these are people in their fucking, like, our older years.
These are people with education. Yeah. Like, it's insane.
Some form of an education,
it's
anyway.
Insane. Yeah. That's true.
It's amazing what you can tell people, isn't it?
Although my husband never had a passport until he met me.
She didn't need one.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, I suppose that's
but
the
if
thing
you
about
think
America.
about it, you can
get everything.
On the one island, you can go fucking skiing.
Yeah.
Or you can go sunning yourself.
You can just do that in California. You don't even have to leave California to do that.
The one state.
If you think about it.
Yeah. You can go skiing on a Monday and fucking sunning yourself the following day. So why would you need it? Like, I can totally understand it, but it makes people quite insular, I think, then, because, oh Christ,
Jesus,
have we gotten?
No, we haven't.
No, we're all right.
That long. We're grand.
It has it. Yeah, I think. Well, we're not. Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right.
I'm just getting started.
Yeah, I know, but this is the beauty of a podcast, and this is your first ever one. You've absolutely fucking smashed it out of the park.
Have I?
Yeah, you've done really well.
Have I not been really boring?
People struggle with words and stuff like that. They're going, where, like, going.
Do you know what's the only thing that I found a little bit hard with this?
Yeah.
There's some things I'd love to say that I just
know.
can't say.
I know.
Or
I
like,
know.
I was media trained from, that was one of the first things my label did, so I'm very...
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
But I almost hate that that happened because I'm almost too conscious now, and I think
because I remember you were talking about something with Dave. We were joking about making funny videos, and you were going, "We can't do it. You and I can't do it." Now I can do it.
Well, you can do it because you're a comedian, so you take the piss out of it.
And already people know. Oh well, that's the guy.
A piss take. For me to do that would be outrageous. Like,
still, maybe under my name. No, definitely with a disclaimer.
Maybe
underneath.
If I did it under like Samantha, what was my name? What's my name? Samantha the Hot Mikado Mumba. Maybe I could get away with it if I did it under my alias.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Are the Mikados the ones? The Mikado biscuit, is that the one? Is it the two little spongy stuff in the middle?
And I never liked them. And there was then like the coconut stuff on top.
Is it the one with the jam down the middle? Fuck, I think that is the Mikado one. The hot Mikado. Oh my God. Yes. The imagery, Samantha.
Oh my.
Good Lord.
Deary me.
Good Lord.
Well,
like, Irish people would have heard earlier on the yoke that know they're good biscuits would have heard that earlier and go, how those two fucking idiots got picked up on what they've just said. The Hot Mikado. That was the name of an actual play.
The Hot Mikado, a Gilbert and Sullivan, quite a well-known
Jesus Christ.
play. And
Wow.
do you want to know the name of my character?
Please.
I'm
I
afraid to
desperately
say
want to know it now.
I'm afraid to tell you. Yum Yum.
Yes.
As God is my witness.
Yes.
I swear to God, Yum Yum was my character's name.
Sweet supper, Jesus. Yum Yum in the... Oh
Yum
my
Yum.
God.
You look it up, you'll see. It's a real character. It's a real show.
How is that not at the top of your Wikipedia page?
I know. I know.
I just came up with an idea for your next tattoo.
Not a Mikado.
Hot Mikado.
A Mikado. Oh my, it's not a bad idea actually. It's not a bad idea at all. In honour of my first podcast.
And you wore camo on your first podcast. I'm so proud of you.
I did. Now, I do love my bit of camo.
You do?
And you brought that to life. You have the best camo I've ever seen. Like, literally, you're blending in with the forest.
I've introduced you to some good stuff.
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
I've actually got a couple, and there's a bunch. You need to hit up Bass Pro.
Oh my God!
They do amazing ladies' clothes.
Stop.
What?
When I used to live in the Inland Empire. That's where my husband was from, so we lived out there for years. There was a huge Bass Pro shops. There was a good.
Oh,
we
no,
used to go shooting
you can't
there.
call
There's
them
the
Bass
gun
Pro.
range.
You got to call them Bass Pro.
Oh, Bass
yeah,
Pro.
they.
Oh.
Yes, as Irish people, we would read it as Bass Pro.
Oh, Bass Pro, sorry.
Pro. Yeah.
But there was a huge shop, literally 5 minutes from my house. So, we'd go shooting in there. There's the gun range.
Yeah.
You can buy a boat. It's that mad shop, isn't it?
It's
like
amazing
a small
barbecue
city.
stuff. Yeah.
Like, everything, oh my God, that's your dream shop.
Yeah.
That's your dream shop.
That's my dream shop. Richie's moving right beside one in Florida.
Yeah.
And he was saying, he goes, tell me anything you want and I'll send it over to you.
Oh my God, and the
Jesus
same,
Christ.
because I'd go out to the IE to get my stepson sometimes. So, anything you need.
It's amazing. Yeah. Because you
Seriously.
They won't send it here.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Where do you even get your bullets? Are your bullets not expensive?
No, they're not too bad.
Oh, okay.
No, there's a lot of there's a guy actually down near home, and he's an Italian guy, and the Italians are big into hunting as well. They make some of the best guns in the world. But he actually has a pizza shop and a gun store.
Stop it.
Yeah, and it's called Pizza and Ammo.
Okay, fair enough.
And but he's actually, so the ammo isn't too expensive. But I mean, we don't have machine guns here or stuff
Now,
like that.
would have been a better name, Diamo. Diamo.
Oh my God.
Like Italian, but
yeah.
Diamo.
Jesus Christ, there's just ideas bursting out.
He needs to read it. Diamo.
Fuck him. Let's open our own fucking pizza and ammo shop. Fuck that guy.
Diamo. That's actually quite good.
Wow.
But, oh my God, yeah. So I was just wondering, because you can get bullets and everything in Walmart in America, so it's very cheap.
Christ.
But anyway, look, you're sorted with the ammo.
Yeah, I'm sorted now.
You're sorted.
Do you know what? We're probably nipped for time. What a bastard.
I know.
Yeah, we're going to have to wind this up. But will you do another one?
I will do another one. I will do another one. We're running out of time.
I know we're running out of time.
We've had weeks and then we have days.
It's a weird... Yeah, but we spend so long alongside each other, but we're actually working. You can't physically actually do it.
No, I know. No, we have to I think we have to.
But we're
I'm just now getting comfortable.
I know. Yeah.
All right.
We can continue. We can do another one on Thursday if you want,
Okay.
and top up on the chats, because now that you're into it, you understand the crack of it.
Yeah.
You're chatting, having the crack.
Yeah.
And I'm getting better at it too, at actually making people have the crack.
No, you are, because it's just a conversation. It's just a conversation. And as you say, sure, you'd talk to anybody.
Oh Jesus,
you would.
Yeah.
So there's never any worry about that.
So for the time being, Diamo.
But anyway,
one last time, Yum
Yum
from
Yum from the
Hot Mikado. Samantha Mumba, this has been epic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.